Welcome back to the Jacob McLaughlin podcast and radio show. You guys, it's been a while, and I wanted to come to you, give you an update on life, and go over what we got for the topic. But I do want to start off with saying, first, I'm sitting in Mr. Jeremy Scott's chair. If you guys are watching on YouTube or Instagram, you guys can see that. But also, if you are listening on the podcast, I'm actually here at JSF tonight, just hanging out. But we do have a automotive, like small engine repair shop right next door, and it sounds like they are working on some motorcycles. So if you guys hear that going on, I apologize. I'm hoping it doesn't come in too much, but I do hear them revving up the engines. But glad to be back in Scottsdale. I'm eating a little more. So let's go back a couple months and just kind of give you the story. Basically, I did a physique show. I did a bodybuilding show, but I did men's physique. And what that entailed was me cutting weight, dropping my macros, working out a lot more, and getting in the best shape of my life and the leanest I've ever been. It was quite the journey. Just got back last week from Iowa, and now I am back to eating somewhat like a normal human being. And I wanted to give you guys kind of the process of what the cut was, what I had to do, what my workouts looked like, what my energy levels, what I felt like, and then also just doing post-show, kind of where I'm at, what I'm doing now, and why I'm doing things. So starting out with the whole bulk and the cut and getting ready for this show. This show is an all-natural show. It means that I'm not taking any drugs, so I had to get drug tested. But it basically started for me 3 months ago. I started cutting. I got with a coach. We figured out my macros, and then we started taking cuts out from there. I dropped 30 pounds pretty much from the time I started to the time I stepped on stage. There was about 30 pounds that I lost, which if you would have saw me before, it didn't look like I had a whole lot of weight to lose with a shirt on, but I was probably around the 20% body fat, and I am pretty sure that I stepped on stage sub 5%. Did I get checked? No, because I didn't have a bod pod or a DEXA, because I don't really do the handheld calipers, because they're great for just like seeing different movement or seeing different results in average person, but especially when you're getting to the 3 to 5%, the handhelds aren't really going to do what you want it to do because there's too much user error. So I didn't check it, but going off of my last results, this year I was way bigger than I had ever been with my other show. So my first show I did 3 years ago, I came in this year, I weighed the exact same weight, but the difference is my arms are like 2 inches bigger, so I have way more muscle mass in me. And I'm now saying I know I was sub 5% because I had veins in my abs. I had veins in places that I don't need to say, and I could see shredded glutes, and I had everything. So I wasn't bodybuilder where it's like that 3% super shredded, but I can safely say I was sub 5%. And so it was a process. But let's get into it. How did I get there? How did I go from being about 20% body fat to stepping on stage and doing a show? And it always starts with, a lot of people think the workouts, the food is going to be all crazy, you're going to be switching. And honestly, my workouts were the same from my bulking phase where I was doing a surplus of calories to the time I stepped on stage, almost until like a week out. Basically, my workouts were all the same. So my workouts were always, Monday was like chest for me and arms, and then Tuesday I would go legs and delts, and I just did it that way. And I have it all on my YouTube if you guys haven't checked it out, for my summer shredding series where I documented. I have over like 20 some episodes of the whole journey of what I ate, what I did for my workout. So if you guys want to check out my workouts, go to my YouTube, Jake McLaughlin Fitness, and you guys can see all my YouTube content that I put out. But continuing on, so my workouts didn't change at all. It was all food. Diet was the biggest thing. And now people think that you have to add in all this crazy stuff or take out all this crazy stuff. Let's just stop right there. What I did was I was at 200 carbs to start, which I had already dropped to. So I was eating at 190 grams of protein. That stayed the whole time. The last 12 weeks I've ate 120 or 190 grams of protein every single day. And then my carbs started at 200, and then my fats were around 80. And then we just dropped carbs. So then I dropped 15 carbs from week 1 to week 2. Then I dropped another 15 carbs, and then I dropped 10 carbs and 5 carbs and 5 carbs, and continued that each week. And so again, my workouts were the same. So I was pretty much doing the same schedule. So I was using about the same energy. So I just had to make little tips to my diet that I just had to take out. And then in the last 6 weeks, the only thing I did add was I added a little more cardio. So I always ended it for the 12 weeks. I ended with 30 minutes of steady state walking on a treadmill for 30 minutes every single workout. And that was every single day, actually, even on Sundays. But then the last 6 weeks, I would actually do like a little Tabata or HIIT cardio where I would go 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And I would do that for 4 to 8 minutes, depending on where I was at. And I would just continue with that. So the 6 weeks is when I added that in. I started with 3 minutes, then I went to 4 minutes, then 5 minutes, and 6 minutes, and so on, until I hit 8 minutes, and then I would go and do my steady state cardio. But my diet is what really changed. Like I said, I would just subtract carbs, and then I got all the way down to my last week. I was at 110 carbohydrates, which for most people, they're like, oh, that's still pretty good. But for me, that's death. I was eating around 1,900 calories. I actually got into 1,800 calories my last week. I live around 3,000 calories, and that's with me not gaining weight or losing weight. That's just where I maintain. So I can eat usually around 3,200 calories, and I won't lose any weight. I'm still lean. So that was almost half. So I felt like death. So again, going with that energy level now. I felt good, to be honest, most of the days. It was the last 3 weeks when I started taking my carbs out. I felt horrible. I had no energy to go to my workouts because I want to eat carbs at night, and I want to eat carbs in the morning. And so I was having no carbs during the times I needed it for my workout. So then 4 weeks out or 3 weeks out, I actually put all my carbs in the morning. So I would eat 40 carbs of my 110. I'd eat 40 of them for breakfast, and then I'd eat about 30 or 40 of them for afterwards, which only left me for 30 carbs for the rest of the day. And what I would do is I would do salads. I would do spinach and chicken and onion, and that was pretty much it. But as we got into it, like I said, I looked great. I kept losing body fat. I got to the leanest I ever was. But how was I? How was my energy level? The last 3 weeks, I was grouchy. You can ask the clients here at JSF. I was not a fun person to be around. I was a walking zombie. I looked like I had people tell me, like, you look like you were on drugs. I got asked where my face was about 100 times because I had no cheekbone. My cheekbones were showing up because I was so lean. And to be honest, my last week, I could barely do anything. It took so much energy for me to get out of bed to go pee. That's how bad it got. It was like, do I wet the bed? And I was like, no, I can't wet the bed. But I had no energy, and I didn't even want to get out of bed. Is how dead I actually felt. I couldn't even do a workout. Like one day I was going to do like 3 days out on Wednesday or Tuesday when I'm supposed to do legs, and my competition was on Saturday. I couldn't do a 20-minute leg workout where I just did my body weight, and it was like 10 squats, lunges, and some RDLs with some like 60 pounds or 50 pounds. And that's usually that's nothing for me. I couldn't even do that for 20 minutes, and I about died. So my energy level was just shot. People just noticed that I wasn't happy. And I just told people, I'm so sorry, but I'm not. Everything pisses me off. Everything annoys me. Everybody who complains, I just want to kill. Like, I was just at a whole nother level. So that's really the truth of everything. So your diet is all that changed for me. My workouts pretty much stayed the same with just a little bit of cardio added in. And then I added, just took out some food, but energy levels were good until the last 3 weeks. And then last 2 weeks was death, and I was not a fun person to lay around. I legit would just come to work and I'd go home and lay in my bed and just not move. And I wouldn't hang out with friends because I just wanted to lay in bed and not move. I wouldn't talk to anybody because I just want to lay in bed and not move. As you guys are getting it, it's not an enjoyable time. It was not fun the last 2 weeks. But again, I made this commitment to do this show, and I was going to give it my best effort. So that is something to take in consideration when you guys are wanting to do a show. Like, it affects you as a person. It affects your social life. You can't, I couldn't go out and hang out with people. I couldn't go and talk to people. I couldn't even just be friendly, to be honest. I could have, but I was super just pissed off all the time. It came off really rude. So it wasn't a good feel for that. But again, I was able to accomplish the goal. I was able to do what I would like, but workouts were suffered. I didn't have my first pump of like actually feeling like my muscles working. I had my first one after I had my cheat meal after the work post show. That was the first time I had a pump in like 2 months, which is like crazy. And then also, let's go hormones real quick. Hormones were affected. Just being on a personal note, like I'm a 24-year-old male. I have plenty of testosterone. I should think like a guy. I see a pretty girl, stuff happens, right? No, not when I was in deep prep. Like I told Jeremy and them came in here and I was like, I don't think I'm like there. My testosterone's so low and I already know it. So I actually got it tested. I'm going to get my results here soon. So I'm pretty excited about that just so I can see how low they were during that time. And then I'll do a bounce back period in about 6 months and let you guys know the results of that. So I could do myself a little experiment. But it's like, even just waking up, like I didn't have any energy. I was just dead all the time. I didn't have normal male things that usually happen. So it was like your hormones do get affected during it, which does lead to the energy being affected as well. So that's the big part of it. Now, that was a lot of negativity. That's kind of how the show was. How'd the show go? I got third in my class and I got fourth in my other class. So third in the novice, and then I got fourth in the open. I felt really good with that. There was some great guys and really great physiques out there. So I have to just say awesome job to them. Really happy. And I want to say thank you to my coach, Austin. He just helped me through this so much, and he was a great coach to have. But we did that. But what happened post-show? You know, post-show, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I lost my mind because I was like, oh, I'm not going to cheat too much. I might have just a burger. Well, someone gave me a T-Rex cookie, which is a cookie as big as your face. And I ate that cookie. And from the first bite of it, I said, oh my God, this is like cocaine. I couldn't stop eating it. So I actually got that cookie and I dipped it in peanut butter. And I was eating that cookie and I ate half of it as we went to Zombie Burger in Des Moines afterwards, where I then finished a triple-decker cheeseburger. And then we ordered sweet potato fries that came in they served 2 to 4 people is what it said. I had that by myself, which I think it only served 2. It was pretty small. But I ate that by myself. I ate half of my best friend's because he didn't eat the rest of his. So I ate his. My mom gave me half of her burger, so I ate that. We got nachos that was like 3 times the size of a regular nachos for the table. And I ate half of that. And then on our way to get ice cream, I ate the rest of that giant cookie with peanut butter. And then I got a large ice cream from Orange Leaf and put Oreos, Thin Mints, everything you could think of. So probably about 7,000 calories in about 45 minutes. And now you guys are saying like, well, that's eating disorder, it's all that. It was basically like I lost my head because I hadn't had it for so long and I'm like, I can have everything. And to be real, I was hungry. I only had like 1,500 or like, not 15, I had like 700 calories all day before that point. And it was 6 o'clock at night, so I was starving. But I just lost my mind. I did, and I actually ate till I was sick. Like I actually ended up throwing up because I ate so much food. My stomach couldn't hold it anymore. And that's not healthy either. You're right. Like I know that. But what I will say, after I did that, I didn't want any other food. Like I've now got my like little fix. I don't want to like. Of course, I'll eat a burger and fries, but I'm not craving it. I'm not going like psycho like I was last time. So even though that's not the best thing I could have done, it works for me that the fact that I ate so much that I end up puking. But afterwards, like I felt so horrible that next day. I was like, oh my God, I don't want any more ice cream right now, and I don't want any of that. So it kind of got me that fix, which I'm okay with. But probably not the healthiest way to do it. But that was it. And then post-show, how am I feeling? Like I said, I went and got a workout in on that Sunday, the day after, with all that food. I had the craziest pump. My arms thought they were going to blow up because I had so much blood into it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So that was the feel afterwards. And now my workouts, I'm strong. I feel strong. I'm not as strong as I used to be, but I'm still getting up there. But my energy levels are so much better. People actually like to talk to me again. I'm actually enjoyable to be around. I actually like being with myself. I didn't like being with myself during the last couple of weeks. So energy levels have been really bounced back. I've increased my carbohydrates. I've increased fats. Now I'm doing what's called the rebound diet. And so basically it's a reverse diet, rebound diet. So reverse diet is you're going to slowly add in calories and basically in the form of carbohydrates back into your diet, and your body's going to process it. And so guys have actually got where they eat way more food, but they've gotten leaner because the body just absorbs it and processes it better. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm supposed to be about 140 carbs. I'm not going to lie to you. I've ate over that. I've been eating like 170 to 200, and I have to talk to my coach about that tomorrow, which, Austin, I'm really sorry if you're watching this. But like, I just been like, I want oatmeal. Like, I want a cup of oatmeal, my God, and I want some potatoes. Like, I'm going to have that. And so that's how I've been. But with that, still have veins in the abs, still like lean. So I'm not like just lost it. Like right now, I still have veins popping out of my arms. It's like I'm still keeping it because I am doing a show in about 6 weeks. So that's the only thing a little different that Austin, that's why I need to be better at this, and I'll jump back on the wagon this next week because I have a show in about 6 weeks. I'm going to Alfleet in Houston, and I need to be dialed in for that show as well. I'm going to be a little bigger and thicker, so I'm okay with that. But I'm okay with giving up a little leanness, but I can't just keep eating 200 carbs a day because I will spill over and it will start to get a little flubby looking. So I need to get back on it. But with that said, feeling a lot better. That's the energy levels as of right now. That's kind of the post show. So that's how you kind of do is you slowly, just how like for the cut, how you slowly bring down your carbohydrates and you'll see a difference. Now for the reverse diet, since I'm so lean, now you do the exact opposite. Now you add carbs in slowly, and that's how it's going to go up to get the results that we're looking for. So that is pretty much the last couple of months. That's how I prepped for the show. That's what I did. That's how I felt. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any of these, email, anything. You can check me out on jakemclaughlin.com, jakemclaughlinfitness.com, or you can hit me up on any of my social media platforms. Ask me any questions. I will be straight up with you. I will tell you everything that you guys want to know, my workouts. Like I said, if you go to my YouTube, you'll be able to see all the food I ate. You'll see my workouts. You can always ask me for anything. But again, I did this podcast because I want you guys to think about if you're thinking about doing a show, it's a commitment. I did 3 to 4 months of, I committed my life to this. I didn't talk to any girls. I didn't talk to anybody. I just worked out, went to bed. And that was my life, and I ate. And then the last month was like not the best. Last 2-3 weeks, I felt like crap. You can barely move. But again, you look great. So that is what you need to think about. Is it juice worth the squeeze, pretty much? And I always want you guys to think about that if you are competing. And then also just the mental part of it. Like I said, I've got a better relationship with food after doing this the second time. But like my first time when I did this show 3 years ago, I got done and I was like, I don't know how to eat. I don't know how to have chicken and rice, or do I do chicken and asparagus? That's all I can have. But then it's like, oh, I can have a potato now, or when do I do this, or do I just have peanut butter? Like, I actually lost how to eat. So there's big mental things that come with it as well, and that's, to be honest, why I usually suggest women not to do it the most, because even though guys suffer from it too, women are usually a little harder on their bodies, like if they hold fat or not, and usually they're not, but they're more hard on themselves. And so it's just a mind thing, and also for this reason. I'm not going to, the way I looked at it on stage, I only look like that for 3 hours, or like for that hour, because then I don't look like that when I step on stage and I drink water or something like that, your body's going to actually metabolize stuff. So that's what people forget, because I don't look right now like I look like it on stage. I'm still lean, but I'm not like I'm stage ready right now because I ate some more carbs. And so people forget about that. Like in 3 weeks, I'm not going to look the same that I did on stage. I'm not going to have all the striations that I did on stage. And that's just life. And some people just struggle with trying to get over that. So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Would love to chat with you guys or go over anything that you might have. But I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, listen to this, wherever you're at. And you guys can always hit me up on any platform, like I said. So until next time, make sure you guys are doing something active and making sure you are hanging out with people you love and chasing your guys' dreams. I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.